Welcome back to Everyman Prepping. There's been a prediction of an earthquake either January 2nd or 3rd in California, 7.0, which is pretty large. That could happen. Do I think it's going to happen? Very small chance, very low probability, but that's not what this video is about. We're not going to talk about getting your food, your medical, and make sure it's all ready, be hunkered down, and all the fear of the impending earthquake. That's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is if an earthquake did hit, will your preps survive the earthquake? Will your food and supplies be there after the earthquake so you can then use them and get through that natural disaster? You'll have everything available so you can continue on in a normalized fashion throughout your life for your family and your friends and get through the event. So let's look at this article really quick. Here it says, quake prediction says, a signal just hit. They warn of a potential earthquake between San Francisco and LA, 7.0 or larger, coming, on the 2nd or 3rd today or tomorrow. And you can see from the map here, if you're in this area of California, the percent chance of it hitting. Is this just FUD, or fear mongering? Who knows what it is, where they get their information from. But like I said, that's not important. That's not what this is about. It's not getting ready for it. This is for the people out there that are prepared. You've done the work ahead of time. You've got your food, your water, your medical, in your house, your bug out location, wherever. But is it going to be available to you? Are you going to be ready for it? I got a list of things to jog your memory, brainstorming, things to think about to make sure that stuff is available. Before we get to that list, this is also a chance if you have friends, family, yourself, relatives, whoever living in earthquake country, California, Oregon, Washington, heck, even today, Texas, Oklahoma having earthquakes, Tennessee, Yellowstone, all that. If you know someone that's in that area or you're in that area, this could be something to send them and saying, hey, they might not be up on prepping, they might laugh at you for prepping, they call you a doomsdayer, but this could be a way to get them started saying this is a natural event. Look, someone's predicted it, probably won't happen, but why don't you make sure you have some stuff on hand, and then you can help them out from there. But continue on. Please like this video if you're enjoying it so far, and you'd like to see more, please subscribe. If you have subscribed, everybody ring that bell so you get notified next time. And like I said, share this video with people you think might be interested in it and get some use out of it. So let's start with the list. The first thing on there is a lot of people have their supplies in a room, in a separate room, whether it be a bedroom, just a large closet, their basement, barn, wherever that is, they store a lot of their stuff in one location. Thing is, can you get to that location after an earthquake? Meaning, is stuff going to fall over inside that room, shelving, stuff stacked up, and you have a door that opens into that room? Is it now blocked because everything fell over during the earthquake, the shelving, and you can't open that door? Think about that. Do you want to change the door so it maybe opens out instead of in so you can open that door easily? Or if you can't change it and the door does open in, well, maybe you need to move stuff back from the door so shelving, pails, whatever you have in there doesn't block the door. If that's still not possible, have a way to get through that door to get into your supplies. Do you need to put an axe, a crowbar, chainsaw, something on right outside that door where you can easily get to it so you can bust down that door, sledgehammer, whatever it may be. Have something to get access to that room so you can make it into your supplies. Next on here, waters and liquids mixed with dry goods storage. If you have your water storage, your oils, some of your other liquids that you're storing for survival, but you put them right next to your wheat berries and your oatmeal and your dry pastas and your dry goods. And during that earthquake, stuff really gets shaking. Stuff falls, breaks, whatever happens. And then you got water in your dry goods because it crushed the bucket, crushed the Mylar bag, whatever. Now you have wet food that's going to go bad or is already bad and you can't use it. It's gone to waste. So think about storing your liquids and your water away, different room, different area than your dried food supplies. Even your medical, if your bandages and all that get water soaked and all that, your electronics, your commo, any of that stuff. Liquid and most things don't mix. So think about storing your liquids, whether that be your oils, your water, your juices, whatever you're storing, in a separate area from your dry goods or electronics or things that can be damaged. Think about separating those out because an earthquake, stuff can go flying and you don't want to damage everything because you prepared. You want to make sure it's useful for you when it happens. Next, that kind of goes on to point 3, your prepper pantry. Your pantry. You've been canning. You have a lot of glass jars. You have all your food in there. You have it all on the shelves. It looks great. It's pretty and all that. Your prepper pantry is something to be envied for. Well, are you protected it? Do you have some shelf guards on the front so when it starts shaking, the bottles and cans don't start flying? Whether that be bungee cord strapped across, wood, some other guard. You need to have something so stuff doesn't fly off the shelf. Don't forget about that. You don't want 6 months of food in your prepper pantry to go flying off the shelves and break and hit the floor and be ruined. Have some kind of shelf protector, something in front so they can't just fall out and get destroyed. So think about that in your pantry. Next, stacking hazards. You hear it a lot in the prepper community. Stack it to the rafters. And some people do that. They'll take their 5-gallon long-term storage and they'll stack buckets to the rafters. They'll stack wood, up high. They stack a lot of stuff. But in an earthquake, when everything's shaking, that stuff's coming down if it's strong enough. Now, when it comes crashing down, is it going to hit people, pets? Is it going to break other supplies? Is it going to crash into your communication, your generator, your solar, things like that? Is it going to, fall into if you have wood, is it stacked too close to the house and it comes down, it's going to go through windows? Think about your stacking. And if you're going to stack it high, find a way to brace it. So when it starts shaking, it doesn't fly, injure people, or get destroyed. So think about your stacking and what you're stacking and what's next to it. Next on the list, fuel cans and other sources, propane, diesel, gas. First of all, we all know for safety, we don't store that stuff in our house. We don't even store it in the garage. It's in a separate building or separate shed or separate container away from the main living quarters. That's for fire hazard, which in an earthquake, fires can start. So as a segue, have fire extinguishers all over the house. Everywhere it could be possible, have fire extinguishers. All right, back to what I was talking about, the fuel. Your fuel, you probably want to store it on the first level because you don't want fuel, stacked up in a shelving. It comes off, it spills. Not only is that a fire hazard now, but whatever it's spilled on is probably ruined. Not many things, especially food, medical, communication, electronics, can survive a fuel spill on them. So you're gonna want your fuel on the ground floor, or if it's in a shed and that's the only thing in there, that would work too. That way, if it spills, it only spills upon itself. But think about your fuel. Get it away from any combustible source. It's not near a heater. It's not near a water tank, a boiler. It's not near anything that can cause a fire during an earthquake. It's separate, safe, not going to catch on fire, not going to spill into other things. So think about your fuel storage. And next we have on here your solar panels. So for your solar panels, if you have them installed and they're on the roof, probably safe unless a tree comes down or a roof comes out. If you have them on a ground mount, they're probably safe as well from the earthquake, unless, like I said, tree falls. So look around. Do you have any trees that are older that may collapse and go through your solar panels? If so, you might want to trim them, cut the tree down, relocate the panels, whatever. But think about the solar panels. Now, if the solar panels for your solar generator are stored inside, in a garage or whatever, you're going to put them out only when you need them or only put it out when a major catastrophe hits. Make sure they're strapped down. Nothing's going to fall on them. Remember your stacking. They're not going to fall over themselves. They're strapped to the wall. They're, wrapped in blankets. They're somewhere safe so they don't crack. Because then if you have your solar generator and your solar panels and you think you're safe and you're set because that earthquake's going to hit, but you're going to have power, well, if your solar panels are busted, you're not going to have anything. Think about your solar panels, especially the big ones that have glass in them, glass panels. You got to keep them safe from things damaging them. So think about your solar. Next, generators, because you're going to have, big earthquakes, you always lose power. So you can have your fuel generator and your solar generators. Where are they stored? Can you get to them easily? Are they going to be in something that's going to collapse and you have to dig it out? They might get damaged. Think about where they are and how they're stored. Make sure nothing can fall on them to damage them. Make sure they're easily accessible and they're protected. So think about where you're storing your generators, both solar and fuel. Next on here, tools. You need tools for recovery because if it's a big enough earthquake and parts of structures fall down, got to dig people, pets out, got to dig your supplies out, got to dig your neighbors out, your friends. Make sure you have your tools where they won't be buried and you can easily get to them. whether that be sledgehammers, shovels, picks, chainsaws, axes, pry bars, rope, gloves. Make sure that's all somewhere safe, easily accessible for an after the earthquake. You're going to need those tools. Same goes on here to medical. Make sure medical has easy access. I would suggest multiple first aid kits or bags throughout the house. One in each vehicle, a couple throughout the house, one in an exterior building. So that means no matter where you're at, you have backups. The old 2 is 1, 1 is none. Well, you need more than that. Medical is going to be very important, like I said. Keep it away from liquids and water. So if things start flying, all your medical gauze and band-aids and bandages don't get destroyed. Lastly on the list here, I have communication, because communications will go down. Cell towers will probably go down, so your cell phone, even if it's safe, probably won't work. You're going to need a way to communicate, because you want to know what's going on. Is there assistance coming? Do friends and family need help? Do people in your mag or community need help? Do you need help? Do you need a call for help? Who are you going to call? Have a way to communicate that does not involve a cell phone, because it most likely won't work. And you got to protect that. And that includes antennas. So if you have a ham radio, shortwave radio, and you're using an antenna, it's strapped to the roof and it comes down, do you have a backup antenna you can put out? Can you go somewhere and install another antenna? But have a communications device, set up with people you're going to communicate. You know what channel you're going to. They know what channel to listen to, and it all works. Whether that be your radio, your shortwave, and you have the chargers for them, because you have your solar generator. You can charge it back up, and you have good. So that's my list. What I have for you, what I have for everybody is things to protect. So after the event, after the earthquake, you can get to it all. So as a review, that's access to your equipment. Yeah, you didn't get, you stack things properly so not hurting people. Liquids aren't going on dry goods and other things that can be ruined by liquids. You've stored your fuels properly. You've got your solar panels all protected in a way. Your generators are protected. Your tools are ready to go. Your communication. Think about all those things, because is the earthquake happening today or tomorrow? Probably not. Could, but probably not. Will it happen in the future? Yes. California hasn't had a giant earthquake in 20, 30 years. One's going to happen. That's just the way it is out there. So you've done your prepping. You're ready to go for that. Make sure your preps are going to survive the earthquake. In the comments below, please put suggestions you have for people of ways to protect their preps, things they should look out for if you live in earthquake country, things you've done to protect yourself so you know that you can get to your preps. Put it all below, share, and if you have questions, write the question below about what you have. Question on how do I store this or how do I protect this item. Put it down there, and someone will get back to you, guaranteed. We will. We take care of each other here, and that's what we're all here for. So until next time, keep your ear to the ground, head on a swivel.